I'll go ahead and get you started. Tonight we're lucky to have with us tonight from Waynesville Middle School. The group is called the Jump Start Chorus. The group is made up of 7th and 8th grade chorus students who passed a musical audition. They meet each morning during Jump Start and at a reading enrichment period. These students, by joining Jump Start Chorus, agreed to earn all of their reading points on their own time. And we just heard them just a few minutes ago. They do a wonderful, wonderful job, and we look forward to hearing from them again tonight. Thank you so very much.
got to hear our ladies sing. Now we're going to feature our young men on Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Our soloist is Tanner Hendricks.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town.
He's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So you better be good for goodness sake. You better be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry. You better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Ooh, ah. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. You better watch out, you better not cry. You better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. 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 Santa Claus is coming to town.
The last piece we're going to do is a new arrangement of Jingle Bells. How many of you knew that Jingle Bells was not a Christmas song? Raise your hand if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
What is it?
Thanksgiving song.
It's a Thanksgiving song. James Pierpont was hired to write a piece of music for a Thanksgiving service, and he was racking his brain. He couldn't figure out what to do, and so he was sitting at his window, and here came a young man and his lady he was courting coming down the street in a sleigh. And all of a sudden, you could tell he was really trying to impress that girl. And you guys can relate to that, right? All of a sudden, the sleigh tips over and just ruins the whole moment. And so he just got this really big laugh. And all of a sudden, this poem came to mind. He wrote this song and thought, well, this is not your typical Thanksgiving church song. But he took it, and everybody loved it. And so A month later, when Christmas time came, they asked him to do it again, and he had the choir learn it. Well, the word had spread, and all these people came to the Christmas service, and they took it out wherever they went, and it was published about 10 years after that. But Jingle Bells is a Thanksgiving song, so we hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving, and we hope that you have a wonderful Christmas. This is Jingle Bells.
Thank you very much, Jumpstart Chorus from Waynesville Middle School and under the direction of Miss Martha Brown. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and call the meeting back to order. We had our open session, closed session. We're back into open session now, and I have a few announcements I'd like to make. First, our next regular board meeting is January the 12th here at the Education Center at 7 o'clock. And again, thank you to the Waynesville Middle School Jumpstart course for providing our entertainment tonight. It was wonderful, and thank you parents for coming and supporting them. And we've got a lot of activities going on tonight. We sure do. I'd also like to recognize, I don't think they're in here, but I would like to recognize that we have with us tonight Boy Scout Troop 309. Could Boy Scout Troop 309 come in for a moment? put them on the spot. I just wanted to welcome this group of young men tonight to our meeting, and I think part of their system, merit badge system, is to come to a public meeting of a government agency, and so welcome to the Haywood County Board of Education meeting tonight, gentlemen. Thank you. If you'll give me the sign when you get bored with it, I'll just have a recess and y'all can leave if you want.
They may get up and leave now.
They may leave already.
They're smart.
Just kidding. We're glad to have you with us. We got to have a little fun. It's Christmas time. Tonight, do you want to do the Junaluska Elementary highlight at this time? At this time, I'd like to recognize Miss Sherry Arrington, principal of Junaluska Elementary School. Sherry here.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Garrett, Dr. Nolte, and other distinguished guests, we would like to thank you for allowing us to spotlight Junaluska Elementary tonight. I personally want to take the chance to thank you for allowing me to serve as principal at such a wonderful school. And I enjoy my job and appreciate it so very much every day. We think Junaluska is a very special place, but we are a little biased. And we think that several things make us special, but one thing that we hear over and over, whether it be on a survey from parents, students, staff, or new teachers that come into the school, or even parents that come through the front door, they tell us that our school has a real family atmosphere, and I think it does. You know, as a family, you support one another, but you also are able to look at one another and say, we need to make some changes, or we need to do some things better. So we're really proud, and we have to brag for just a minute, but out of 816 Title I schools in North Carolina, we did rank 13th on our end-of-grade scores last year, so we are proud of that. But we want to do better. And so as a staff, we've been reading the book by Richard Allington. That's a leading reading expert in the nation. And we have read the book, What Matters to Struggling Readers. And one thing that really stands out to us is that students need to read volumes of books on their independent reading level, where they can read with accuracy and comprehend and be very fluent. So we're trying to work this into our day and add it for homework. And of course, we have to have more books, which costs more money. So we're working as a PTO to try to raise money for those books. So we come to you this evening because one of the things that Richard Allington says that you need to do is that you need to motivate your students to be great readers. So we want to share with you something that we did in October. And we actually took this idea from Bethel Elementary School last year, and we tried to modify it and change it to fit us. But it's called Books and Treats. And so on October 28th, what we did is we did it during the school day so that every child could participate. And we invited parents to come in. And so the staff and the students and the parents could dress as their favorite storybook character. And the parents did, and all the staff did. It was great. And that day we came in and we started in the gym that morning, and we had an activity where the staff acted out the book Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. And then we went all through the school to different classrooms, and the teachers read to students. We concluded with a snack for students, and we had a book for every child. That's why we decided to do it during the day, because we were able to give every child a book of their own. So we're going to show you that tonight on our video. In the video, you're going to see, you've heard of Christmas in July. So we've decided to bring to you Halloween in December. And so the first thing you're going to see is Miss Audie's first grade class. They actually wrote, Miss Audie's second grade class. They actually rewrote the words to Winter Wonderland and made it Pumpkin Wonderland. So they're going to sing that. And then we have a first grader in Kathy Lombardi's room. His name is Hoyt Clemens, and he's going to tell you how he arranges his independent reading books in his book box. And then finally, we will conclude with just an overall of what happened in the school that day. I want to recognize some folks that made this possible. Diane Four is a Title I tutor, and she did a lot of photography in the video, so she's not here tonight. But I'd like to recognize Lisa Thompson is our lead teacher. This is her first year's lead teacher, and she's doing a great job. She keeps us going on this reading. She's helping us order the books, and she has PLC meetings with each grade level to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. And Donna Cox is our Title I full-time teacher, and she coordinated this whole day of books and treats. And she went with her husband to Charlotte and bought those books and worked through the whole thing for us. And then Ira Hyde, who's our media coordinator, he has put this video together, and he teaches children the love of books every day as they come into the library. So we appreciate this opportunity, and we hope you enjoy it.
Tell me about your book box.
Okay. I have my homework books over here. Not homework books over here. Poetry in the middle to separate my homework books and not homework books.
What do you like your poetry folder?
Yeah, because I read my poetry a lot. But my homework books first. And my other books last.
What is your homework books? Are they hard?
Yeah, they're really just nonfiction.
Nonfiction. What do you like better, fiction or nonfiction?
I like nonfiction. I have one nonfiction over here. Over here, which is the only book it is Tornado. And my group's trying to change right now.
All right.
Hello? Look. Mr. Hyde, look. All three of us have the same
What book did you get? Nice.
Thank you, Ms. Arrington, and everyone from Junaluska Elementary School. We appreciate the highlight that you've given us into your school and what's going on there. It looks like a lot of fun. Okay. Thank you so very much. Did want to announce tonight and to congratulate our board members that have been re-elected and our newly elected board member, Mr. Bobby Rogers. I'd like to recognize them for just a moment, please. This is a certificate of election from the Haywood County Board of Elections, and I'd like to present this to Larry Henson for being elected to Haywood County Board of Education, the Bethel District. Larry, congratulations. Mr. Jimmy Rogers being elected to the Haywood County Board of Education, Clyde District. Congratulations, Jimmy. Mr. Bobby Rogers being elected to the Haywood County Board of Education, the Crabtree Iron Duff District. Mr. Stephen Kirkpatrick being elected to the Haywood County Board of Education, the Fines Creek District. Congratulations, Stephen. And last we have Mr. Walt Leatherwood, the Haywood County Board of Education, the Beaver Dam District, unexpired term. I have a feeling tonight's going to be one of those nights I'm going to be up and down a lot, so bear with me. And if I forget to do something, just yell out at me. Under agenda adjustments tonight, I'd like to add one item to the agenda. We can add it between items number 13 and 14. I want to add one addition to it about the possibility of sponsorship of an Altrusa fundraiser that we've done in the past. I just need to take official board action on that tonight. Any other agenda adjustments that we have?
Chairman, I need to add an item to the finance.
Okay. 15A, between 15 and 16. Okay. We'll add that item for you. Thank you, Mr. Francis. Any other additions? Okay. Now the board recognizes Mr. Mark Shepard. There he is, around the corner.
Overflow crowd tonight. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I'd like to take this opportunity for us to recognize our fall athletes from the high school level. And the first one I wanted to mention couldn't be here. She's got a program with her own child. Miss Megan Woods is to be recognized as the Western North Carolina Athletic Conference two-time, back-to-back volleyball coach of the year.
Wow.
So that's a big deal for her. And now I'm going to have Coach Chappell come around and introduce his Player of the Year for Pisgah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's always an honor and a privilege to come up and be able to talk about one of your own. This year at Pisgah High School, our football program, we ended up having 7 kids that were nominated for all conference. The next gentleman I'm going to bring up in just a second was voted as the conference defensive player of the year. He had 131 tackles for our team this season, 3.5 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions. But one of the greatest things that he has done is he was a leader of our football team. And for that, you can't measure on stats or any of those other things. He also carried a 3.625 weighted GPA and has a cumulative score on his ACT of a 23. So he's going to give himself a chance to go on to school beyond the football part. Certainly we're proud of him. And again, it's a great privilege of mine to bring up Mr. Colton Schuler. Picture made. Thank you.
And now we're going to have Mr. Mashburn come around. They've got several to recognize for Tuscola.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Garrett, I'd like to thank you for your support of Tuscola High School, our athletic department, and most of all our student athletes. It really means a lot to know that you do support them, not only on the field of competition, but also in the classroom and academically. At this time, I'm going to recognize our cross-country coach, Coach Jesse Inman.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm quite nervous. First time ever doing anything like this. This year we had a great season. We had a full team that showed up every practice and everything, and we had 3 people become Western North Carolina All-Conference. The first one was Damon Lubinsky, and I'd like to recognize him first. And then the other 2 were not only Western North Carolina All-Conference, but also All-Region. The first one I would like to recognize is Jacob Franklin. And I believe the last one is also here. Her name is Brooke Turner. She was All-Conference and All-Regional as well. I guess she wasn't here. I thought I saw our family earlier, but that is cross country for Tuscola.
At this time, I'd like to recognize our soccer coach, Coach Ray Sugg.
Took a few years off from doing this, I think about 7, and this is my first year back in a while, and had a really good group of guys, and we're going to honor 3 of them tonight. All 3 of these guys were voted all-conference, and then they also, in the North Carolina Soccer Coaches Association, were voted all-region. So Ben Nickel, Ben scored 30 goals, and he was the leader in Western North Carolina in scoring. Also had 8 assists, and the conference also voted him as the co-offensive player of the year, alongside some senior from Franklin who shall remain nameless. But then A.J. Hawkins. A.J. was a senior midfielder who led Western North Carolina in assists with 14, and then 8 goals. And once again, all conference and all region. And then a junior sweeper, Logan King. And of course, Logan also kicked for the football team. And he got 4 assists by just kicking the ball from the back all the way up to Ben so Ben could score. So in addition to being really good soccer players, these guys are all great young men, great in the classroom, just great to have them at Tuscola. Thank you.
And lastly, I'd like to recognize our football coach, Coach Tommy Pursley.
Okay, thank you. I really do appreciate this. This means a lot to me, and I'm sure it does to these young people that represent our schools. I've coached for a long time, and I've never known a school board to recognize all conference people, so I think this is tremendous, and I know that I do appreciate it. We had 4 young men that made all conference. They had outstanding football seasons. They are great young men. They're very good football players, but more importantly, they're just great young men. They're fun to be around. They're leaders of our school, leaders of our football team, and we're very proud of them. The first one I want to introduce is Jordan Davis. Jordan played offensive line for us. In every game, we grade and evaluate the performance of our linemen. And Jordan, in all 12 games we played, had the highest grade of all of our offensive linemen. He also played some defensive line, but he was an excellent offensive lineman. And the good news for us is he's just a junior, so we're proud of Jordan. The next young man I want to introduce had a great year for us. And he just really got better and better as the season went on. He's a young guy. He led our team in rushing. He had almost 900 yards rushing. I think he scored 7 touchdowns. Probably our most productive offensive player, one of them. He also played some defense at outside linebacker, and he did a great job returning kicks for us. And again, more good news for Tuscola football is this young man is just a sophomore. So Caleb Ferguson. All right, we had another young man that had an outstanding season, this one primarily on defense. He played free safety for us. He led our team in tackles with 107 tackles. He was on most of our special teams. He was a very good leader for our team and did an excellent job. This young man's a junior, Zach Webster. And the last young man I'd like to recognize had a great year for us. He was, I think, second on the team in tackles with 92 tackles, but more importantly than that, he just did a great job of doing what we asked. He's a good leader for us on our football team. He also started for us at tight end. This young man is a senior, John Martinez. Again, thank you guys the way you represented Tuscola High School and Tuscola football. They're excellent football players, but more importantly, they are excellent young men, and I know I really appreciate them and enjoy being around them. Thank you.
Next on our agenda, we have Miss Jenny Wood with a special recognition.
Chairman Francis, members of the board, Dr. Garrett. It is my pleasure to present to you the 2014 Christmas card winner, Miss Victoria Glass. Victoria is in the 5th grade at Jonathan Valley, where she's in Miss Ernest's class. The art teacher at Jonathan Valley, Caroline Ottinger, says of her, Victoria is a joy to have in class. She's not only a gifted artist, but a model student as well. She strives to do her very best work every single time and is always encouraging to her classmates. Laura Ernest, Victoria's classroom teacher, said, she's an exuberant personality, an eager learner, an empathetic heart, and a young lady who brings color and beauty into the world around her. Victoria's card was chosen from the elementary school finalists and has been sent to more than 1,200 individuals and businesses throughout our area. On behalf of the Haywood County School System, I would like to present Victoria with a $100 check, 25 printed cards, and you can send them to whoever you want, and then we have your artwork framed over here. But with your permission, we want to keep it at central office for the rest of this week, and I'll bring it to Jonathan Valley on Friday.
That'd be great.
Okay. Well, thank you.
That's my daughter.
My granddaughter. In my heart.
Oh, cute.
There you go. Messed up a good picture.
Yeah.
I want to thank you all. This is so special, and it'll help her in her education. And we have the best principal and teacher at Jonathan Valley, and we think Haywood County.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much, and congratulations. Ms. Moody, did we have anyone sign up to address the board during the open session? Thank you. Board members, you've had an opportunity to read the minutes, both closed and regular session, from the November 10th, 2014.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
You want to approve the minutes as presented?
Yes.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Milner. Any questions or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I'm going with the new policy. I read our policies. We're supposed to be doing it by voice call. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Now the board recognizes Ms. Jenny Wood.
Sorry, Victoria still has my attention. For your approval tonight, we have the 2015-2016 Haywood County Schools calendar.
Does board members have any questions or comments about the school calendar?
I think I had one question, but I can't remember what it was. Let's see. And this might be a crazy question. November the 11th, which is on a Wednesday, you're having a holiday. What holiday is that, Mike?
It's Veterans Day.
Sorry. Sorry, I knew I was missing something. I didn't.
It's the only holiday that's mandated by our state law.
Okay, because I didn't look it up. I just didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make myself look.
The only major change was that the early release days were moved from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Make a motion that we approve as is.
The calendar, proposed calendar as presented.
2000, whatever, 2015-16.
Okay.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion from Mr. Kirkpatrick, second Mr. Rogers, to approve the Haywood County Schools calendar for 2015, 2016. Is that correct? Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. I'm throwing them a curve tonight.
You're missing them all up.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, you also have the 2015-2016 Meadowbrook school calendar.
Any questions
For your
on the
approval.
2015, 2016 Meadowbrook calendar as presented?
I make a motion, we approve the 2015-16 Meadowbrook calendar.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Kirkpatrick. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Milner. We have a motion on the floor from Mr. Kirkpatrick, second by Ms. Milner, to approve the 2015-2016 Meadowbrook Elementary calendar. Any questions or comments on the motion? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Jeannie. Board members, included in your board packet was a resolution that supports getting the local school Board of Education's control of the school calendars. We just are asking that our legislature looks at giving us back control of our local calendar, which was taken away several years ago, and our organization, the School Board Association, has asked us to support them in their lobbying effort to tackle this issue. I would entertain a motion to support this resolution at this time.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make that motion because this has been a long coming, and I appreciate our School Board Association doing this, helping legislate for this.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Henson. Rhonda's not going to get nothing tonight. She's not going to get a second or a motion. We're going to give it Rhonda a chance here in just a minute. We have a motion on the floor from Mr. Rogers, a second by Mr. Henson, to support the resolution on local control of school calendars. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And we, Dr. Garrett, if you would forward that down to the North Carolina School Board Association Legislative Department so they can have our support in that endeavor to get it changed. Next on the agenda is what I added to the agenda was we've had a request from Altrusa to support their annual soup and cornbread fundraiser, which the money goes right back to our school system through the Haywood County Schools Foundation. In the past, I think we've sponsored at the bronze level, which is $100. And I wanted to know what your wishes would be on supporting the Altrusa. If you want me to pass that around, I'd be glad to. But we've done it in the past, but I think the board needs to approve support of that. There's a $100 level, there's a $150 level, and there's a $250 level. And we've supported at the $100 level, I believe, in the past.
I move we support it at the $100 level.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor from Ms. Milner to support the Altrusa fundraiser at $100. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Ms. Shandable. That was quick. Are there any questions or comments on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Now, next on the agenda, we have our policies from Mr. Shepherd. He's been a busy, busy person and the committee. And I'd like to first of all say thank you for your hard work on this. I know that there's a lot going on, and Mr. Rogers, Jimmy Rogers has been busy on it, and some other folks have been working really hard on this, and I appreciate it. And we're moving right along. I know we've got a long road to go, but it looks like we're making progress.
We are making progress. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. And we are going to step back just a little bit from bringing so many to have for first reading this time. We needed to catch our breath just a little bit. School Board Association attorney needed to catch his breath just a little bit because he's working on other projects at the same time along with ours. But we also have the technology policies that they're going to make sure that we have right before we bring those for first reading in January.
Okay.
So the first thing we have for you all tonight for first reading are ones that, if you'll notice, they're the 1,000 series, and there's 5 of them there that needed just a little bit of tweaking after you guys saw them and passed them the first time. For example, parental involvement. You know, we took out our corporal punishment language out of our SA1, and this one still had an opportunity for parents to opt their child out of corporal punishment. So that was irrelevant. So now we've taken that out. And those are just small administrative tweaks in all 5 of those policies. If you have any questions on any of them, I can answer them for you. But just in complete, transparency, wanted to bring those back for first and second reading.
Okay. So we'll table 1310, 1510, 1710, 1740, and 1750 until the next regular board meeting for public input. Okay?
Thank you. And for approval in a second reading, we have the 2000 series, and as well as 3410. And there were some minor tweaks made during this period for comment over the last month while these had been tabled. And if you have any questions on those, I can answer those for you at this time as well.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve, so they all the 2000 series, and the bottom one's also in there, correct?
3410, right.
That's 3410 series as is.
As presented, okay.
As presented.
We have a motion to approve all the policies that are for the second reading.
Right.
That's a good way to put it, I guess. And we have a second from Mr. Rogers. Are there any questions or comments on any of the policies? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Like sign. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shepherd.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Shepherd.
Good
You're
work.
doing a good job. Appreciate it.
A lot of work, a lot of work. Now we have the report of our Finance Committee, and I'll turn the meeting over to our Finance Chair, Mr. Jim Francis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance Committee has met and reviewed the regular monthly financial reports. Everything seems to be in order, so at this time, I would like to bring before the board approval of those regular monthly financial reports.
Okay, we have a motion from the Finance Committee Chair, Jim Francis. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second with Ms. Milner. Any questions or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say like sign. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, sir. Have one other item from the Finance Committee. I'd like to make I'm bringing this from the committee to the board, motion from the committee to approve a status change for the Learning Center Director to accompany the new grant that they received.
Okay. We have a motion from Mr. Francis.
I second it.
We have a second from Mr. Kirkpatrick. Are there any questions or comments on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
That's
Anything
all
else?
we have from the Finance Committee. Thank you, Mr.
All
Chairman.
right. Is there anything else on the? I've got an audit report.
I
That was
think,
last
is
time. That's
Mr.
gone.
Phillips going to handle that?
Mr. Phillips? Next item on our agenda is our 2013-2014 audit report from Mr. Phillips.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, on December 4th, we had a work session at the central office and reviewed the budget as presented by Mike White from Anderson, Smith & White. The Finance Committee approved that budget, and I'm asking for your approval this evening.
Okay. Do I hear a motion we approve the 2013-2014 audit report as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Francis has made the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Henson. Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next on our agenda, we have personnel from Dr. Ann Garrett.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, for your information, you have 9 separation from employments, you have 6 employee status changes, and you have 9 leave of absences. For your approval, you have 6 employments, 16 employee status changes, you have 1 leave of absence, you have 7 contracted services, 10 substitutes, 2 employee coaches, 3 non-employee coaches, and 1 volunteer service.
This time I entertain a motion they be approved as presented.
So move.
Mr. Kirkpatrick made the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Milner. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion, anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
I didn't want my hearing to give me a problem.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I'd like to introduce our new Chief Finance Officer, effective March the 1st, Mrs. Angie Gardner. Ms. Gardner has graduated summa cum laude with a bachelor's degree in business administration from Montreat College in May 2014. She has 28 and a half years of service in North Carolina Public Schools, to include work in Cherokee County, Wilkes County, and Haywood County. She has held positions ranging from state accounting clerk, payroll supervisor, health benefits, administrative assistant to the superintendent and board, and most recently, assistant finance officer. Currently, she is on track to graduate from the NCASBO's Certified School Business Director Academy in February 2016. With this accomplishment, Angie will join other finance officers across the state that are certified school business directors and will be our first in Haywood County. When asked what role a finance officer plays in public education, Angie stated, and I quote, "I believe a finance officer is in a unique position to evaluate ways to maximize available resources. By working with administrators, a successful finance officer can provide strong physical leadership to help meet the growing demands for accountability placed on public education today. I present to you Mrs. Gardner."
Chairman Francis, members of the board, Dr. Garrett, thank you so much. I am looking so forward to serving as your finance officer, but more importantly, I'm looking forward to working for all these children that we saw here tonight in person and on the screen, and all those that weren't here. It is a privilege to look for ways to maximize our resources for those children so that not only they meet their educational goals, but they and their families enjoy the experience. It is my privilege to guard your $60 million checkbook. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Gardner, I would just like to say thank you for what you've done over the last 12 years I've been on the board. A lot of people may not understand, we all stood up and clapped. We usually don't do that when one person's going from one position to another position. But you are one of the few examples that I can say that you've had a goal, you've went for it, and you've kept on and kept on and kept on. And we've had quite a few of those, but when you have those come around like you, moving into these positions, I just want to say thank you for what you've did and all the hard work that you did.
Amen.
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 And thank you, Bob, for what you did also. I mean, you're still going to be around. I know. But just in case I forget, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, Ms. Gardner, and thank you, Mr. Phillips, for your service to Haywood County Schools. You've done us well.
And I guess now, Ms. Gardner, you can talk.
Keep it short, right?
Keep it short.
There being no further business but come before this board, meeting adjourned.